Welcome back to our Chapter 2, Basic Concepts of Derivatives and Their Applications. Now we're going to talk about the differentiation formulas. We have the following objective. We need to apply appropriate differentiation formulas in finding derivatives of the following: constant functions, power functions, polynomial functions, product and quotient functions, trigonometric functions, exponential functions, and logarithmic functions. And what we need, we must have the prior knowledge about the laws of exponents and the basic arithmetic operations. So as we observed in the previous lessons, the process of finding derivatives using the limit definitions tends to be tedious at times. So it is not easy, it is difficult and time consuming. The good news is that we have an alternative method in getting the derivatives. And we are going to use the formulas. So the use of formulas is sometimes a necessity in dealing with mathematical problems since it facilitates reaching one's desired result. In order to use such formulas, remember that they can be established or proven using conditional definition. In the case of derivatives, by using the limit definition. However, take note that only a selected number of theorems will be presented with proofs based on the scope of the reference. And the rest of the proofs are presented in other mathematical analysis and calculus with analytic geometric books. So in short, some of, not all, of the theorems will be presented with a proof. But take note, the formulas we are going to present is very important how we're going to deal with these derivatives. So first, we have the theorem 2.4.1, derivative of a constant. So here, it states that if a function is defined by f of x equals c, where rc is any constant, then derivative is given by the derivative of x is equal to 0. So, pag constant gani, ang iyang derivative na always 0. So, we have some illustration. Number 1, given f of x is equal to 1 over 5. So, the derivative of 1 over 5, since this is a constant, 1 over 5, so the answer is 0, based on our theorem. Next, if y is equal to f of d is equal to 10 to the power of 4, then the dy over dt of 10 to the power of 4, since it is a constant, is also 0. And the last one is dx of square root of pi, or the derivative of square root of pi. Since pi has a value and considered as a constant, so the answer is 0. So that is the derivative of a constant. Any constant, the derivative is 0. Next, theorem 2.4.2, derivative of a power. If a function is defined by f of x equals x to the power of n, where n is any non-zero constant, so take note the condition, yung n is non-zero constant, and our x is not equal to 0 for any given n. Then the derivative of f of x is given by the derivative of x is equal to n times x to the power of n minus 1. So just simply ang atong exponent nga n, gibutang nato diri, diba? Times siya kung may constant here, you need to multiply. Kung wala, now we have 1 automatic, so n times 1. So n is any non-zero constant. Then what happened to the exponent? You are going to deduct 1. So here's some illustration. If f of x is equal to x to the power of 12, then what is the derivative of x? So we have the derivative of x is equal to, since we have the given nga x to the power of 12, atong n is 12. So 12 times x. Then what happened to 12 here? We need to deduct 1. So final answer, 12x to the power of 11. So the answer is 12x to the power of 11. Next, if f of x is equal to 1 over x to the power of 5, then what is the derivative of x? So take note, we have 1 over x to the power of 5. So it can be rewrite as x to the power of negative 5. So derivative of x is equal to x to the power of negative 5. So using the given theorem, so this is n negative 5 times x, then negative 5 minus 1. So the final answer is negative 5 times x to the power of negative. So that is our derivative. So negative 5 x to the power of negative 6. Then next, derivative of fourth root of x. So fourth root of x can be rewrite as x to the power of 1/4. So derivative of x, or simply dx, is equal to x to the power of 1/4. So is equal to, our n is 1/4, so 1/4 x tapos 1/4 minus na to na 1, so equals 1/4 x, so 1/4 minus 1, 1/4 minus 1. LCD is 4. So 4 divided by 4 equals 1 times 1, 1 minus 4. So we have negative 3/4. The power of negative 3/4. The final answer is, we can rewrite this one as 1 over 4 times x to the power of 3/4, or you can have 1 over 4 tapos fourth root of x to the power of 3. This is the final answer, 1 over 4 then times the fourth root of x cubed. And also here, it can be rewrite as equals negative 5 over x to the power of 6. So that is the application of derivative of a power. Next is derivatives of sine and cosine function. That is theorem 2.4.3. So dx of sine x, or the derivatives of sine x, is equal to cosine x, and the derivative of cosine x is equal to negative sine x. So ang kalahian lang niya is ang derivatives of cosine x na ay negative na sign for sine x. But for the derivative of sine x is always positive cosine x. So the next theorem is derivatives of exponential and logarithmic functions. So first, the derivative of e to the power of x is equal to e to the power of x. So why now solve? Next, derivative of a to the power of x is equal to a to the power of x ln a, where a is greater than 0. So that is the condition. Ang atong a dako sa 0. Next is the derivative of ln x is equal to 1 over x. And lastly, derivative of logarithm of x, the base of a, is equal to 1 over x times 1 over ln a equals 1 times 1, 1 over x ln a, where our a is not equal to 1. So that is the condition. So ato laman ning timan-an. Now, you cannot memorize this one, but you can familiarize by constantly doing practice and solving the derivatives. Okay, next, derivatives of a constant multiplied to a function. If c is a constant, then the derivative of c times f of x is equal to c times the derivative of f of x. So, ang gibuhat lamang is itong separate si c na constant, tapos ang ikuhaan na nato derivative is katong f of x. So, we have some examples. If f of x is equal to x to the power of 5 over 5, then the derivative of x is what? So, we have this one is equal to x to the power of 5 over 5. So, you can rewrite this one as 1/5 times x to the power of 5. Now, here, since this is constant, so kanila atong i-hatagan og derivative. So, equals 1 over 5 times derivatives of x to the power of 5. Now, applying the power, derivative of a power. So, we have this one, 1/5 times 5x. So, 5 minus 1. So, 1 over 5 times 5x to the power of 4. So, multiply nato, we get 5x to the power of 4 over 5. So, the answer is x to the power of 4. Next, if g of x is equal to times a cube root of x squared, then what is the derivative of x? The solve is equal to 2 times the cube root of x squared. So you can rewrite this one as 2 times x to the power of 2 over 3. So apply the constant in a function, constant multiplied to a function. So 2 times derivative of x to the power of 2 cube, or 2 over 3, equals 2 times 2 over 3, that is our n, x to the power of 2 over 3 minus 1, equals 2 times 2 over 3 times 2 third minus 1, 2 third minus 1 is equal to 3. So 2 minus 3, so the answer is negative 1 third. So to make this as positive, so equals, we got 2 times 2, 4. 4 over 3. Nya, para ma-positive ni siya, so ibutan na to sa ubos. So equals 4 over 3, then the cube root of x. That is the final answer. Next, if y is equal to negative 3 cosine x, then find the y prime. So we have this one. Y prime is equal to negative 3 cosine x. So negative 3, that is constant, times derivative of cosine x equals negative 3. Now, what is the derivative of cosine x? That is negative sine x. So y prime is equal to positive 3 sine x. So that is the final answer. Next, if y is equal to 4 times ln x, then find y prime. So y prime is equal to 4 ln x equals 4 constant times derivative of ln x. So you may use other than d of x. You have dy over dx, d over dx. Pwede lang kahit ano-ana. So it was discussed in our previous lessons. Even though they have different symbols, different letters, but still they have the same concepts talks about the derivative. So you can have a y prime or the dy over dx. So we have dy over dx or you may have d over dx. So ikaw magbuot kung sa mong ganahan. But if given si ja, atong sundon. Kung sa naa sa given. Okay, next. So y prime equals 4. Now, what is the derivative of ln x based on our given theorem? Balik ta diri sa derivatives of exponential and logarithmic function, ln x. So, 1 over x. So, 1 over x. So, the final answer is y prime is equal to 4 over x. Now, theorem 2.4.6, derivatives of a sum and or difference of functions. So we have 3. If h of x is equal to f of x plus g of x, then the derivative of x is equal to the derivative of f of x plus derivative of g of x. That is, the derivative of a sum is the sum of the derivatives. Kuhaan mo derivatives ang matag terms. Then after na i-add. Next, h of x is equal to f of x minus g of x, then the derivative of h of x is equal to the derivative of f of x minus the derivative of g of x. That is, the derivative of a difference is the derivative of the first minus the derivative of the second. So, kuhaan gyapon nimo derivative usa nimo i-minus. If h of x is equal to f sub 1x plus f sub 2 or plus minus f sub 2x plus minus and so on plus minus f sub n x, then derivative of x is equal to the derivative of f sub 1x plus minus derivative of f sub 2x plus minus and so on plus minus the derivative of f sub nx. That is the principle of getting derivatives of a sum or difference of function extends to apply to a finite sum and or difference. So take note for the derivatives of a sum and difference or difference, kuhaan mo og derivative ang matag terms. So that is the concept. Example, consider the function given by f of x is equal to x minus 3 times x to the power of 4. Its derivative is, so given nato, f of x is equal to 2x minus 3x to the power of 4. So the derivative of f of x is equal to, so what is the derivative of 2x? Using the constant multiplied to a function, so you can have this one, 2 times x. So what is the exponent of x is 1, tapos 1 minus 1. Minus, so 3 times, so you had exponential or the power rule, so 4x power of 4 minus 1. So ito lamang tagsa-tagsaon sa nato dito. So we get 2 times x. 1x or can have x so 0 minus 3 times 4 we get 12. 4 minus 1 we get 3. 2 times, remember x to the power of 0 is 1. So minus 12x cubed. So we have 2 minus 12x cubed. So that is our final answer. That is the derivative of 2x minus 3x to the power of 4. The answer is 2 minus 12x cubed. So that is the final answer. So, importante lang ani sa sum and difference is kabao ka sa previous nga mga theorems. Kasi every terms you need to apply the different theorems. Then, at the end, you need can be added or deducted. So, you may apply here. Dili man nato pwede i-minus ang tuari. So, as easy dya. Next, given the function defined by y is equal to 4 times e to the power of x plus 1 half times sine x minus 5 times the square root of x cubed. And its derivative is, so we have the given y is equal to 4 e to the power of x plus 1 half sine x minus 5 times square root of x cubed. Now, y prime, so matag term atong applyan sa different theorems. So, we can have this one, the derivative of constant multiplied to a function. So, 4 times derivative of e to the power of x, atong tagsa-tagsaon, plus, the same also, we have constant multiplied to a function, so 1 half times derivative of sine x minus, so maghapon 5 times dx as the derivative of square root of x cubed. So, ang square root of x cubed, maririte na nimo og x to the power of 3 over 2. Okay. Y prime equals, so apply na ta sa derivative. So, we have 4 times, sa derivative sa e to the power of x, still e to the power of x, plus 1 half times derivative of sine x is cosine x minus 5. Derivative of x to the power of 3 over 2 is 3 over 2 times x to the power of 3 over 2 minus 1. So, pila man ang 3 halves minus 1. So, we get 2, 3, minus 2. So, the answer is 1 half. Okay, simplify. So, 4 times ex, so 4 e to the power of x, plus 1 half times cosine x, so we get cosine x over 2 minus 5 times 3 halves, so you get 15 over 2 times x to the power of 1 half. So simplify further, 4 times e to the power of x plus cosine x over 2 minus, so we have x to the power of 1 half, so we get 15 square root of x over 2. So this is the final answer. So the same gyapon ang buhaton, you must master the different theorems, previous theorems, then apply. Okay, ang sasamang difference, you need to work on every terms. Simplify. Next example, given the function h of x is equal to 4x to the power of 5 minus 2x to the power of 3 plus 5x minus 7x 7 times the square root of x all over 2x cubed, then find the derivative of hx. But before finding the derivatives of h of x, take note this is a polynomial over a monomial. So ato sa laman ng simplify daan. So nakanindot sa kung monomial ang imong denominator, pwede nimong buhaton is ang matag terms. So for example, 4x to the power of 5. So bato nimo 4x to the power of 5 minus 2x cubed plus 5x minus 7 times square root of x all over 2x cubed. So, pwede na nimo siya nanion para ma-simplify. Siya 4x to the power of 5 over 2x cubed minus 2x cubed over 2x cubed plus 5x over 2x cubed minus 7 times square root of x over 2x cubed equals, we have h of x. So 4 divided by 2, we got 2. So applying the law of exponent, so dako man ang ibabaw, so we got x. So 5 minus 3, 2. Minus, here, we got 1. Plus 5 over 2 Since nakuha ang sa ubos, arita magbutang og exponent. So we got 2 minus 7 over 2. Since 1 half ang sa ibabaw, ang sa ubos 3. So we got x. So 3 minus 1 half, you got 2 and 1 half. So here, para ma-simplify na to, okay, 3 minus 1 half is equal to 2. 6 minus 1, so we got 5 over 2. So since the numerator, we have x to the power of 1 half, tapos sa denominator, x cubed. So we are going to get the LCD and take the process. So we have x to the power of 5 over 2. Okay? So since nataan na ani, so now we can apply and finding the derivative of h of x. So the derivative of h of x, kanina to gamitan. So 2, pihansa lang nato, minus 1, plus 5 over x, 2x squared, minus 7 over 2, x to the power of 5 over 2. So derivative of 2x squared, 2. What is the derivative of x squared? We have 2x. Now 2 minus 1, 1. So then natin ibutang. Minus derivative of 1, constant siya 0. Plus, here we get 5 over 2 times, positive siya sa ubos, so para ma-negative siya, d over dx ta, x to the power of negative 2. Minus 7 over 2 times d over dx of x to the power of negative 5 over 2. Okay? So, medyo taas. So, we get here 4x. This is 0, so okay na na siya. We have 5 over 2 times, diba? Power of negative 2x, negative 3. Ang ibabaw. Minus 7 over 2. So, sa yan derivative diha, we have negative 5 over 2 times x to the power of, okay, so we have negative 5 over 2 minus 1 over 2. So 2 divided by 2, 1, 1 times negative 5, negative 5. So we got here 2 times negative 1, negative 2. We have negative 7 over 2. So the power of negative 7 over 2. Simplify. As for x, so here we have, you can cancel this one, 5, 2. So remaining here is negative 1. So we got negative 5 times x to the power of negative 3. Here we got, since we have 7 over 2, we have negative 35 over 4 times x to the power of negative 7 over 2. Then derivative of h of x is equal to 4x minus 5. Para ma-positive ni siya, ibutan na to sa ubos. So negative times negative, we get positive 35 over 4. Ay negative siya de as ibabaw, so x to the power of negative 7 over 2. Positive na. Positive 7 over 2. Or you can have this one, derivative of h of x is equal to 4x minus 5 over x cubed plus 35 over 4 square root of x to the power of 7. So that is now our final answer. Next theorem is theorem 2.4.7, the product rule for differentiation. So for the product rule, it is different from the previous sum and difference. So given the function h of x is equal to f of x times g of x, its derivative is given by derivative of h of x is equal to f of x times derivative of g of x. So, lahi siya sa sum and difference. So, karon copy mo na yung f of x times the derivative of g of x. This is the second one. Tapos, plus ka, ang g of x na pod karon ang kopyahon times the derivative of the f of x. So, we have this illustration. Example. Derivative of x times e to the power of x. So, unsay buhaton ana? So, we get this one, derivative of x. Dx, x to the power of times e to the power of x equals. So, this is our first one, the f of x, and this is our g of x. So, copy x times derivative of ex or e to the power of x plus this one naman copy lang times derivative of our x. So ato lamang gi-follow ang diriya. So kanio na kopya then kuha ang derivative ani plus kaya na po nga kopyahon nimo tapos kuha ang derivative ani x. So next equals. So copy x. What is the derivative of e to the power of x? So we have e to the power of x based on our theorem plus e to the power of x. What is the derivative of x? Derivative of x is 1. So pag variable lang gani, automatic ang atong derivative is 1. So the final answer is x e to the power of x plus e to the power of x. So this is the derivative of x times e to the power of x. Next, what is the derivative of x squared times ln x? So here we have d of x squared times ln x equals. So kopyahon ng x squared, pangitao ng derivative sa ln x, plus ta, tapos ang ln x na pod ang kopyahon, times the derivative na pod sa x squared. So, equals. So, copy x squared. What is the derivative of ln x? That is 1 over x, based on our theorem. Plus ln x. What is the derivative of x squared? Using the power rule, we have 2x. Okay? Simplify. So, here, you can cancel. Tapos 1. So, we get only x plus ln x times 2x. So, 2x ln x. So, the final answer is x plus 2x ln x. So, next, derivative of x cubed times cosine x. So, dx x cubed cosine x is equal to, copy first x cubed, then find the derivative of cosine x plus ka, kopyahon si cosine x, then times the derivative of x cubed. So, that's the pattern. Simple lang. Then x cubed. What is the derivative of cosine x? That is negative sine x based on our theorem. Plus cosine x. Now, what is the derivative of x cubed? That is the power rule. We have 3x to the power of 3 minus 1, 2. Simplify. So, we got negative x cubed sine x plus 3x squared cosine x. The final answer is negative x cubed sine x plus 3x squared cosine x. Next, the derivative of sine x over x. So, derivative of sine x over x is equal. So, you may rewrite this one as derivative of sine x times x to the power of negative 1 half. Diba? Ang exponent aning x is positive 1. So, para mabalik nimo sa ibabaw, you get negative 1 as an exponent. Now, you may apply the product rule. So, we get sine x times the derivative of x to the power of negative 1 plus x to the power of negative 1 times the derivative of sine x equals, copy sine x. Now, what is the derivative of negative 1? So, we get negative 1x to the power of negative 2. plus x to the power of negative 1 times the derivative of sine x is cosine x. Simplify. So we got negative sine x, negative sine x, negative times sine x, negative sine x. So since we have x to the power of negative 2, para ma-positive siya, ibalik na to sa ubos. X squared. So here, plus cosine x, then over x. Para ang negative ma-positive, ibalik na to sa ubos. So the final answer is negative sine x over x squared plus cosine x over x. So example, find the derivative of the function defined by f of x is equal to the quantity of x squared plus 2x. This is a binomial times trinomial, which is 3 minus 2x minus 5x cubed. So since this is multiplication, we need to apply the product rule. So this is our f of x and this is our g of x. So derivative of f of x is equal to, so f of x na to, x squared plus 2x times d over dx, rg of x, 3 minus 2x minus 5x cubed plus, g of x na naman, tapos times the derivative of x squared plus 2x. Okay? So, it looks complicated, pero kung anamo nimo, you can get the final answer easily lang. Okay, now, since our d over dx here is trinomial, you need to apply the sum and difference. So, derivative of a constant is 0. Diba? So, 0. So, derivative of 2x is 2. And derivative of 5x to the power of 3, you get 15 x to the power of 2 plus 3 minus 2x minus 5x to the power of 3. Now, what is the derivative of x squared? That is 2x. And the derivative of 2x, that is 2. Atong hinloon, x squared plus 2x. We get negative 2 minus 15x cubed plus 3 minus 2x minus 5x cubed times 2x plus 2. So, derivative of f of x is equal to, so i-apply na to ang fuel method. So, we got x squared times negative 2, we get negative 2x squared. X squared times negative 15x cubed is negative 15x to the power of 5. 2x times negative 2, negative 4x. 2x times negative 15x to the power of 5 is negative 30x to the power of 4 plus 3 times 2x, 6x plus 3 times 2, 6. Negative 2x times positive 2x, that is negative 4x squared. Negative 2x times positive 2, that is negative 4x. Negative 5x cubed times positive 2x, that is negative 10x to the power of 4. Negative 5x cubed times 2, that is negative 10x cubed. Okay, combine like terms. So, derivative of f of x is equal to, so negative 2x squared, do we have? And we have another negative 4x squared, so we got negative 6x squared. How about to the power of 5? So wala. How about 4x? So we have negative 4x of 6x. So we got 2x. 2x minus 4x, we have negative 2x. To the power of 4, we get negative 30x to the power of 4 or negative 10x to the power of 4. So we have negative 40x to the power of 4. And then 6, 6, tapos na. So plus 6. And then we have negative 10x cubed. Okay, so arrange the negative 15x to the power of 5 minus 40x to the power of 4 minus 10x cubed minus 6x squared minus 2x plus 6. So that is the final answer. Next theorem, we have the quotient rule for differentiation. So consider the function given by h of x is equal to f of x over g of x. The derivative of h of x is given by the derivative of h of x is equal to g of x. So una gisuwat ang denominator times the derivative of the numerator minus f of x, the numerator, times the derivative of the denominator all over the square of g of x. So you can have a certain alternative notation since medyo taas ni. So you have h prime is equal to g times f prime minus f times g prime all over g squared. We have some illustration. Derivative of sine x over x. So we have this one. D over dx of sine x over x equals. So this is our g of x, this is our f of x. So g of x una times the derivative of the f of x minus atong f of x, which is sine x, times the derivative of our g of x, which is x, all over is square natong g of x na to, which is our x, ang denominator. So copy x. Now what is the derivative of sine x? The answer is cosine x minus sine x. The derivative of x is 1 over x squared. So the final answer is x cosine x minus sine x over x squared. We have x cosine x minus sine x over x squared. So next, we have derivative of x to the power over e to the power of x. So dx x to the power over e to the x power ex equals. So e to the power of x times the derivative of x to the power of 4 minus x to the power of 4 times the derivative of e to the power of x all over the square of our denominator, which is e to the power of x, equals e to the power of x. Now what is the derivative of x to the power of 4? That is 4x using the power rule, the power of 3 minus x to the power of 4 times e to the power of x all over the square of e to the power of x equals. So we got 4x cubed times e to the power of x minus x to the fourth power times e to the power of x all over, since we have 2, so we got e to the power of 2x. So unsay common sa ibabaw, simplify, that is ex. So we got 4x cubed minus x to the power of 4 all over 2x. So bilhin the x. So we got 4x cubed minus x to the power of 4 all over e to the power of x, or x cubed times 4 minus x all over e to the power of x. Right, x cubed times 4 minus x all over e to the power of x. Now the last example is f of x is equal to ln x over x squared. Then what is the derivative of x? So here we have f of x is equal to, so ln of x. So kung sa may atong g of x, that is x squared. So x squared times the derivative of our f of x, ln x, minus ln x times the derivative of x squared all over the square of x squared equals, so we get x squared. The derivative of ln x is 1 over x minus ln x. The derivative of x squared is 2x all over x to the fourth power. Diba? 2 times 2, 4. So here, cancel. So remaining is x minus 2x ln x over x to the fourth power. So unsay common sa ibabaw, that is x. So we have x 1 minus 2 ln x over x to the fourth power. So cancel 3 bilin. So 1 minus 2 ln x over x cubed. So that is the final answer, 1 minus 2 ln x over x cubed. So just follow the given pattern sa quotient rule. So h prime equals to g times f prime minus f times g prime over g squared. Okay, next, find the derivative of the function f of x is equal to 4x cubed minus 2x minus 10 all over 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. So this is our f of x and this is our g of x. Derivative of f of x is equal to, so ang atong g of x, 3x squared plus 5x minus 2 times the derivative of our f of x, so 4x cubed minus 2x minus 10 minus our g of x, f of x, 4x cubed minus 2x minus 10 times the derivative of 3x squared plus 5x minus 2 all over the square of g of x. So we have 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. So the square of that. So since wala tayo space, taman lamang ta sa pag-simplify sa first part. Okay, wala man tayo enough space. Derivative of 4x cubed, we got 12x2, x squared rather. 12, di ba? 4 times 3, 12. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Derivative of 2x is 2. 0 naman na, okay na na. So we get 4x cubed minus 2x minus 10. Now what is the derivative of 3x squared? That is 6x. Derivative of 5x, that is 5. Derivative negative is 0. Na ito na i-appeal. All over the square of 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. Okay? So dili na lang to i-simplify pa kay gamay ra tag space. Importante is we can apply the quotient rule for differentiation. So after ani, just like the product rule, we can extend here. Okay? So sad to say we don't have the enough space. Next is the derivatives of other trigonometric functions. So human naman ang derivative of sin x o cosine x. For derivative of tangent x, that is equal the square of secant x. Derivative of cotangent x is equal to negative square of cosecant x. Derivative of secant x is equal to secant x times tangent x. And the derivative of cosecant x is equal to negative cosecant x times cotangent x. So, timan ani nga mga derivatives for trigonometric functions. And that's it for differentiation formulas. Just practice the given problems so that it will not be difficult to solve for more challenging activities.